The moment the base siren echoed through the cold morning air, no one expected anything unusual to happen inside Hangar 12. But that was the day a single joke, one harmless question, would freeze a decorated Marine captain in her tracks. Before you hear what stunned her speechless, make sure you like this video right now, and subscribe to the channel, because what you're about to hear is a story everyone needs in their life. Captain Elena Ross marched across the hangar with her usual confident stride, the kind that made new recruits straighten their backs instantly. She was tough, sharp, and respected. And after 2 back-to-back overseas deployments, the Marines who worked under her agreed, nothing surprised Captain Ross anymore. Nothing, until that morning. She had come down to inspect the readiness reports, and as usual, the hangar janitor, Daniel Cross, was quietly mopping the floor near the back. Everyone knew Daniel, a single dad who kept to himself. Polite, gentle, always tired. No one thought anything of him except that he was a good man trying his best. His little daughter, Lily, maybe 6 years old, often waited for him in the corner office with crayons and a small backpack full of snacks. She waved at every Marine with her gap-toothed smile. The entire base adored her. Elena had never spoken more than a quick, "Good morning," to Daniel. He wasn't military. He wasn't one of her Marines. Just the janitor who quietly did his job. But that morning, one of her youngest corporals joked loudly, "Ma'am, we were talking call signs and realized Cross here doesn't have one. What do you think his would be?" Elena cracked a rare smile. She walked over, boots clicking against the concrete. "Well then," she said teasingly, turning toward Daniel, "what's your call sign, Cross?" Daniel froze. The mop in his hand stopped mid-swipe. His eyes lifted slowly, meeting hers. And in that moment, something unexplainable passed between them, a heaviness she didn't understand yet. His shoulders straightened just slightly, not like a janitor, but like someone who had once stood in a very different uniform. "Sticky 6, he said softly. The hangar fell completely silent. The corporal blinked. What does that even?" But Captain Ross didn't move. Her breath caught. Her eyes widened. Her hand actually trembled, because she knew that name. Everyone who had ever been part of the Helmand Valley operations knew it. Sticky 6 wasn't a call sign you just said. It was legendary. A call sign whispered with respect, sometimes fear, always awe. A call sign belonging to the Marine who had saved an entire platoon when things went bad, terribly bad. A Marine who stayed behind, under fire, refusing to leave 6 wounded brothers pinned down. A Marine who didn't retreat until the last of them was airlifted. A Marine listed as Kia, until he wasn't. But the reports had said Sticky 6 never returned to active duty because of severe injuries. And now he was standing right there, mopping the hangar floor, a janitor, with a little girl waiting for him in the office. Captain Ross felt the weight of the truth slam into her. You're Sticky 6. She whispered, unable to hide the shock in her voice. Daniel looked down at the mop again. "I used to be," he murmured. "Now I'm just trying to raise my kid." The corporal's jaw dropped. One Marine even removed his cap. The entire hangar seemed to shift. Elena swallowed hard. Why didn't you tell anyone? Why are you? "Because the uniform wasn't the hardest part of my life," Daniel said, voice steady but thick with years of pain. "Getting shot, losing friends, learning to walk again, that wasn't the real battle. The real battle was coming home to a wife who didn't make it through childbirth. The real battle was holding a newborn baby alone, with no money, no family, no one who understood. Being a Marine didn't prepare me for that." He looked at his reflection in the wet floor. "I needed a job that let me be there for Lily. A job with hours I could predict. A job that didn't risk leaving her orphaned. So, here I am." Captain Ross felt her throat tighten. For the first time in years, she didn't have words. This man had carried more weight than any of them, and he carried it quietly, without asking for recognition, medals, or respect. Little Lily peeked out from the office doorway then, dragging her small backpack. "Daddy, are you done? I drew you a picture." Daniel smiled softly. "Almost, sweetheart." Elena blinked back emotions she hadn't expected to feel. She wasn't known for softness. But this was different. She walked to Lily and knelt. "Can I see what you drew?" The little girl nodded eagerly. It was a crayon drawing of a Marine carrying 6 injured soldiers on his back while a helicopter hovered above. Daniel looked away quickly, his jaw trembling. You remember that? Elena whispered to Lily. No, Daddy told me, she said proudly. He said heroes don't need people to clap for them. They just do the right thing. Daniel closed his eyes for a moment, pain, pride, grief, and love all crossing his face at once. Elena stood and addressed her Marines. You all listen to me carefully, she said, voice strong again. This man right here isn't a janitor. He's a Marine who carried more weight than any of us can imagine. And from today forward, he will be treated with the respect he earned, every single ounce of it. But Daniel shook his head gently. Captain, please, I don't need. Maybe not, she said. But we do. What happened next became one of the base's quiet legends. Without telling Daniel, the Marines organized support for him, transportation, groceries, childcare help, and most importantly, a flexible part-time consulting role so he could earn more without sacrificing time with Lily. He was hesitant, overwhelmed, even embarrassed, but grateful. For the first time in years, he felt seen. Not as a broken veteran. Not as a janitor. But as a father doing everything he could. Months passed, and Daniel slowly found his confidence again. He helped young Marines understand real combat decisions. He became a mentor, a guide, a living example of sacrifice. And Lily. She became the entire base's little sister, protected, adored, and supported by hundreds of Marines who would do anything for her. One evening, as the sun set over the base, Elena watched Daniel teach a group of recruits. His posture was strong again. His voice sure. His eyes brighter. You know, she whispered to the corporal beside her, Sticky Six didn't just save 6 Marines that day. He's still saving people now. The story ends not with medals or applause, but with something far more powerful, hope, healing, and the reminder that some heroes walk quietly among us, holding mop handles instead of rifles, carrying children instead of gear, but still standing tall. If this story touched your heart even a little, hit the like button right now and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Your support helps bring real courage and humanity back into the world, one story at a time.